Thank you for taking time out of your day to learn more about Dynamics 365 customer engagement. If you would like to learn more about the solution, please reach out to your Microsoft partner. We're going to talk today about Dynamics 365 for sales. So we'll start off with business challenges among sellers. We'll look at an overview of Dynamics 365, and we'll show a day in the life presentation, and then we'll conclude from there. One of the consequences of living in the digital era is that we're bombarded with information, short on attention, and driven to distraction. And sellers are not immune. They have to navigate data, processes, and tools while making sense of conflicting or unclear expectations. In fact, 59% of sellers say they have too many sales tools, and 50% of workers don't know what's expected of them. According to Accenture's analysis, distractions reduce sellers' performance by 14%. A significant cost to organizations. In addition to distractions, sellers face increasing complexity in today's sales environment. Sellers have to juggle an average of 6.8 stakeholders and 16 colleagues per deal, resulting in longer and more complex sales cycles. Sellers are on twice as many teams now compared with just a few years ago, and they work while on the go, complicating collaboration efforts. What can sales leaders do to drive sales productivity in an environment filled with distraction and complexity? Dynamics 365 helps organizations modernize sales productivity in the face of these challenges. With Dynamics 365, sellers can do less, not more, by focusing on what's most important, with streamlined workflows, with sales tools tailored to just what they need. And as a result, sellers can overcome the distractions and complexity to regain focus and sales momentum. Let's take a look at how Dynamics 365 helps sellers focus on what's most important. First, as sellers juggle an increasing number of stakeholders, it gets harder to tailor and personalize interactions. Dynamics 365 provides a holistic view of a customer's interaction history, so sellers have the context and knowledge to personalize every interaction with buyers. And then two, to prevent distractions, organizations need to narrow down the optimal choices for sellers. With Dynamics 365, sellers get guidance toward optimal outcomes. Directly inside the sales records they're working on, sellers see the specific steps needed to move the deal forward. And third, as discussed earlier, many sellers are unclear of what's expected of them. Is it just to close deals? Is it to build pipeline? Is it to acquire new customers or retain existing customers? Frequently, goals conflict, creating distractions for sellers. Dynamics 365 provides contextual real-time dashboards for sellers and leaders, so the entire sales team knows what metrics to focus on and can coordinate action toward the organization's specific goals. Next, let's take a look at how Dynamics 365 streamlines seller workflows. First, new sales tools, if not intuitive and integrated into the seller's daily routine and workflow, will become a distraction. With Dynamics 365, sales capabilities are embedded inside familiar tools such as Office 365, where sellers already work. For example, sellers can create a new lead or view sales data about Dynamics 365 contacts and leads while working in Outlook. And then two, as we mentioned earlier, today's sellers work on the go. Modern sales tools need to support this contemporary mode of work. And Dynamics 365 enables sellers to work anytime, anywhere with the mobile application across web, smartphone, and tablet. Sellers stay productive with mobile-optimized capabilities like voice-enabled commands, contextual news, and task flows that make it quick to conduct sales activities while on the road. And third, with more and more people involved in sales deals, sellers need new ways to collaborate. Dynamics 365 helps sellers collaborate on sales documents and stay connected to conversations around deals. You can even collaborate with customers or colleagues from other functions while maintaining complete control over the data. With Dynamics 365, you can start simple with just the capabilities your sales teams need now and support additional business needs as the business grows. The flexible and adaptable platform lets you get up and running quickly with pre-packaged applications without the need to spend extra time and money setting up and deploying capabilities you don't need right now. You can also configure the sales application for your specific processes. With Dynamics 365, you can count on a platform that meets your needs today and scales and adapts to your needs in the future. When your sales organization is ready, you can add more advanced capabilities in sales and beyond, from predictive lead scoring to LinkedIn integration to marketing to customer service. Now let's go through our day in the life presentation. We're going to be working with Molly, who is our sales rep, and to start off with, we'll look at account and contact management. Here is Molly's dashboard that she opens up to begin her day. We can see that we have her open opportunities, open leads, relationship assistant helping her throughout her day. A little navigation, lay of the land. We have on the left-hand side our site map so that we can navigate from one area to another in the system. We can see any recent activity and any records or views or forms that we want to pin for later view. We can do that here, so we can pin 3M to our pinned section, and now we have a couple of things pinned in our pinned section. Across the top, we can see that we have a few features up here. So we have our global search. This gives us the ability to search through anywhere throughout the system. So I can search for a gentleman by the name of Darren, and up comes his contact record and also other Darrens that are leads and some opportunities. We have a task flow option at the top as well. So this is set up so that we can create repetitive tasks and follow them step by step. So these can be configured for your organization. We'll just select the follow up with an opportunity, choose the opportunity we want to follow up with, click the next button. All of the pertinent information pops up on the screen, and this gives us the ability to either email or call Iris about the opportunity. We have the relationship assistant at the top. So when we select the relationship assistant, this is something that is looking out for your business. So it's letting us know that we have an opportunity closing soon, or we have several of them closing soon. We have some opportunities with no activity, and we also have one that has a date that has passed. So it's keeping an eye on our business for us and helping us do a better job. We have a quick create button here. So anything that we want to create on the fly, accounts, contacts, customer service cases, leads, opportunities, etc., we have the ability to create those with a single click and fill out the appropriate information. We have an advanced find here. The advanced find just lets us access data in a more sophisticated manner. So we can filter out by the field level. We can add different columns and information that we want to seek when we're searching for our accounts and contacts, etc. So let's get into the accounts. So we'll open the accounts through what we call a system view. The default right now is my activity account, or my active accounts. So what that means is that Molly owns these accounts. She has 17 accounts under her. There are other system views and personal views available that are pre-filtered views based on different information. So these also can be configured for your liking. In this view, we can sort the columns by simply clicking at the top of the column. It sorts them from A to Z, Z to A. We can filter on any one of these columns. So just as an example, I want anything that begins with D, and we get DTE Energy Company. We want to clear the filter and go back to our original view. We can also search all of our accounts up here in the account search. So if I type in 3M, we'll get to our 3M company quickly. At the bottom of our list, after we clear our filter, we can see that we have alphabetically, we can see what accounts we have beginning with each letter to make it easier to find our accounts, so we can manage which accounts we want to work in. We also have a chart option. When we select the show chart option, we have, first of all, we see accounts by industry. There are a number of other types of accounts that are, or charts that are available. This allows us to see our account list in another way. So in this case, I can drill down on any of these bars. So I'll just select my holding company bar. It takes me to the 3M company. Now we can open up the 3M company from here and start managing the account. Across the top we have a header with annual revenue, number of employees, who owns the account, and then we have a number of tabs across the top that lets us jump from one screen to the next. So the first thing that we're looking at is our summary tab. We have our account information, address information. The timeline shows us what activity has been going on with the 3M company. We've got some notes and emails. These are all collected inside of the timeline. And when we want to add a new activity, such as maybe a task, we can click the plus button and just create a follow-up task. And we'll say that that needs to be due tomorrow. Save and close. We have a new task in our timeline. Our relationship assistant is kind of following us around, and this is in the context of what we're working on. So I've got some different opportunities closing soon, and again, just keeping us in check with our business. When we scroll down a little bit, we can see we have a primary contact here. That's Darren Watts Waldock. I can just kind of hover over him. His contact record pops up, and we can see that we have his card here with all of his information about Darren Watts Waldock. Then we can go to the Details tab. Here we can see industry information, marketing and contact methods, and some back office information as well. We do want to be able to manage the contacts associated with the 3M company. So here's Darren, Gary, and Gregory in a list, and we can add contacts directly from the account record. We also have a related tab over here, which is showing us that anything related to this account can be accessed through the related tab. So in this case, maybe I'll select the addresses button, and we'll see that I have a bill to address that's different from the headquarters address. Other common places under the related tab that we might go to would be documents, quotes, invoices, orders, those sorts of things. So let's jump into contact management. We will access Darren Watts Waldock's record. The form will look familiar. It'll look similar to the account record. We have our contact information, our timeline, our relationship assistant, etc. What we also have here would be our LinkedIn member profile. So this particular environment is connected to LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Here's Darren Watts Waldock from 3M Company. He's got 5 shared connections. So if Molly wanted to connect to one of those connections, he could do that from here. Here's how we would get that introduction. So we would choose the appropriate contact that might give us that introduction and ask for the introduction and send an in-message box or an in-message mail to that person. We also have the LinkedIn company profile. So this gives us more information about the 3M company. Recommended leads. These are similar to Darren in the company. We can look at the different connections that we have. Here's Darren, some second degree connections, Oscar, Inger, and Rafal. And then also we can see news. So as we're working this account and this contact, we might be able to go in and find some news for a reason to call Darren and follow up. The detailed information just shows us, gender, marital status, anniversary, spouse, personal notes. It's nice to know that Darren coaches Little League and has 6 kids and likes beer. Next time we meet with him, we might want to make sure that we catch up on those things. So anything that's going to help us with the relationship for this contact. Okay, so let's go to the next section. So Molly is going to go through lead and opportunity management. So we'll have the same kind of forms, but we're just going to go through the process of taking a lead all the way through to closure. So we'll go into our lead records. Same list like we looked at before in the accounts. Open up Rick Trevino. And the first thing that we notice is that we have a business process flow across the top. So this is our checklist. This can be configured to your sales process, and it helps guide the seller through lead to closure. So in the qualifying stage, I want to know, is this an existing contact or an existing account? It is not. And what's their time frame? What's their budget? What's their purchasing process? Different types of questions that you would ask in the qualification. We can also see in the lead record, we have the contact information, the company information, the timeline as well, so we can see that we've had an initial call and we have a discovery call scheduled for next week. Details on the lead record will show us industry, company information, and these forms are completely configurable, so any different field that you might need for your process can be added. And then we also have our stakeholders and competitor area. So once this lead has been qualified and ready to go, we click the qualify button at the top. What it's going to do in the background is create a contact, an account if they don't exist, and an opportunity. So now that we are open to the opportunity, we see again we have our business process flow, but we move to the next stage. So here I'm in the development stage and I need to work this opportunity. If we don't like this flyout getting in the way, we can pin this over to the right and make sure that we've completed our information in order to move this deal forward. First of all, when is it going to close? What do we think our estimated revenue is going to be? We fill out the appropriate information. It does say that I need customer need, assembly, armband, and the proposed solution will be the armband 150. We've identified the stakeholders and we've completed our competitor list. On to the next stage, which would be the proposal stage. Now at this time, I'll get rid of my flyout and we'll access our product line items. So we said that we wanted to sell him an armband. So first we need to select the price list and we're going to say that our revenue is going to be system calculated. We'll add the new opportunity line item and we'll look for an existing product called the armband 150. And he is going to need 20 of those. So we'll change our quantity, save and close. Now our product line item is part of the opportunity. So the purpose behind this is that we're going to have some conversations. Things are going to change. I'm not ready to create a quote. I'm not ready, things are moving in the process. So ultimately we get to the point where we decide, okay, I do in fact want 20 of those, or maybe it's that I wanted 22 of those. So we make the change, and now we're ready to create the quote. So we'll go to the quote tab, add a new quote. It's going to pull the information from the opportunity product line items that I selected, and now we can complete our quote. Shipping method, payment terms, we can do a lookup on the address so we don't have to fill out the complete address. So we have here's the address to this particular customer. It gets populated inside of the quote here. We activate the quote and then send the quote off. So we can create a document. We can create the quote summary, print the quote for the customer. Ultimately, once the quote is signed and approved, then we will create the order. And this would be typically a potential integration point to a back office ERP or accounting solution where the information would flow over to that system and the order would be fulfilled from there. All right. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you would like to learn more about how your organization can benefit from Dynamics 365 for sales, please reach out to your Microsoft partner.